Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Hey, freaks and freakettes and all you students of the gun and people across the world.
Welcome to a brand new week.
Welcome. Yeah, it's a Monday, brand new week. And,
yes.
I want you to know how much I truly care about you freaks. And because putting together the show notes for this show just depresses the ever-living crap out of me.
Yeah, I was going to say depressing.
It is. Because we live in a world of idiots, and it's not getting any better. Because the media and the government encourage idiocy.
In fact,
rather than discouraging idiocy. What's that?
I said, in fact, some would say it's getting worse.
Yeah, in fact, some would say it's getting worse. But any hooser, welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. We're going to do our best to give you some valuable information and make you happy today. And, well, what do you have to say for yourself over there, Jarrad? I see your face staring at the camera.
You can see my face. Oh, because the thing.
Because you didn't. I can see your face staring at the camera because I can't see the monitor or the timer.
Well, what I have to say for myself is, welcome to Student of the Gun. It's a brand new week of what's that?
Can you endorse the Squatty Potty?
Oh yeah. There's two reasons. Because so as you guys know, or if you don't, I'm about to tell you that Jarrad Markle is all about efficiency, doing things the most efficient way. And you can ask Zach and Dad that I'm pretty anal about it, and they will agree. And so the Squatty Potty thing, it actually cuts down the time that you have to spend in the bathroom. So you use a Squatty Potty and say you cut your time 50% every time you got to go to the bathroom.
You really think it's a 50% time savings?
For me, yeah, I would say
wow,
so.
That's good.
And then, in addition to that, if you do have to take a little bit longer, since you have the Squatty Potty and you've got your feet up on it, your legs don't go to sleep. So that pays for itself.
You know how to get people out of the restroom faster.
Make it cold?
No, you make it Wi-Fi incapable.
Yeah. That too.
You just
don't have any plug sockets.
You put a blocker in there. Put a radio jamming device in the ceiling so that people can't use their phones and they'll get in and out real quick.
Yeah. What I used to do at Highside, and I assume that nobody that worked with me there is listening to this, but what I used to do is I noticed that the heat was actually attached to the heater in my office. So if my office was warm, the bathroom was warm. And what I noticed is that when the bathroom was warm, people would spend twice the amount of time in the bathroom. So I started experimenting, and I don't know if they knew this or not, but I would, around lunchtime or whatever, I would turn the air down and make my office really cold. And then the rest of the day, because, after lunchtime is when people get slow and they get lethargic. Mm-hmm. So I would turn the air down really cold. And especially in the wintertime, it was in Mississippi, but it still gets pretty cold. And so people would spend less time in the bathroom and they would go back out to the warehouse and actually work.
Well, there you go. Oh, you guys didn't know you were going to get that today, did you? No. So where's the Squatty Potty thing at, Jarrad? It's in your new office.
Yeah, it's it's not in my office.
No, it's not in your office.
If I could, that would be more efficient if I could
put one in the corner. Are there still two men's rooms?
Yep, there's two men's rooms, and I think around the corner there's a chick room.
A chick room.
Or a couple chick rooms. I don't know, because I've never been in there. But yeah, the Squatty Potty.
I just noticed that when I walked into the break room area, there on the door on the left said men, and the door on the right said men, and that was it.
Yep.
All right. If you want to get more, if you guys, I hope that all of you folks enjoyed Thursday and Friday's grad program. And based upon the feedback that we received, I believe that you did. If you would like to participate and figure out what the heck it is we're talking about, go to getsotg.com. That's getsotg.com. Follow the instructions. And they're very simple. There's all kinds of information. There's videos. There's written information. There's a lot of free stuff. And then there's, of course, some pay stuff, too. So just check it out. Go to getsotg.com and follow the directions and learn more from there. All right, Monday, what do we do every Monday? Well, we do a SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. This is your opportunity to call in, and if you leave a valid question, or a question at least that we believe that other people in the audience will be able to benefit from, well, then we'll pick you. You'll be the Warrior of the Week. You'll get a free bottle of 9mm plus P from our good friends at SWAT Fuel. And, Jarrad, remind them if they'd like to call in and leave a question, how they can do that. And I'm sure that our Warrior of the Week knows what they need to do, but just remind them anyway.
Yeah, it's super easy. If you want to call in and leave a question, call 844-207-7684. Ask a clear and concise question, and if you choose if we choose your question, then email info@studentofthegun.com. Include your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and include your email typed into the body, please.
Hey guys, Jason Mays in Lake Wales, Florida. I have to set up my question a little bit. I just got pulled over for speeding. The officer said when I gave him my license and my concealed carry permit that he wanted to disarm me because he didn't like people to have a gun on him while he was writing a ticket. So I get out of the car, he fiddles with my shirt to get my gun out. As I tell him that there's one in the chamber and no safety. He comes back a little bit later, hands me back my loaded firearm and my license. So I'm sitting there speaking with a police officer with a loaded gun in my hand. It was just creaky. And I'm curious, is there something I could have done differently without agitating the situation and aside from not speeding and getting pulled over? I look forward to your answer. Keep up the great work. Thanks.
Okay. All right. I need to preface this before I answer it because I know there are new people in the audience. So you're like, well, what does this guy know? I was a police officer. Yes.
For like 2 years?
17 years.
Okay.
Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of stops. I graduated first in my academy. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The police officer in this case is a mongoloid, is an imbecile, is a clown. All right. Officer, if you're listening, I've been there. I've done that. I got the T-shirt. Okay. You're a clown, you're an idiot, and you're going to get somebody hurt. Jason, what you did was correct. You know, and depending on the state that you live in, if you live in, every state has different specifics, right? Every state has different requirements for concealed carry permit holders. Some of them, when you must inform them, and they say, they put a lot of times very arbitrary verbiage in the law, like at the earliest convenience or something like that. But generally, the best way to do it is when you get pulled over, they're going to ask you for your license, registration, proof of insurance, blah, blah, blah. When you hand them your driver's license, hand them the little plastic card that says, you're a licensed concealed carry permit holder, right? Do not say, I have a gun. When they walk up to the window and, you roll your window down, when they walk up to the car, don't say, I have a gun, because they're going to freak and they're going to grab their gun out of the holster, and then you're going to be looking down the muzzle of a Glock or a SIG or something like that. You don't say gun. You can say permit. You say, I have a permit or what have you. And definitely don't fiddle with your gun during the stop. I've seen some terrible, just horrible advice on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. There was actually one cretin who did a video that said, if you're ever pulled over and you're carrying, take the gun out of the holster and put it on the dashboard before the officer gets up to the car. Sweet Buddha on a rubber raft. If there was one way to get killed during a traffic stop, it's to pull your gun out of the holster and be farting with it when the police officer walks up. Leave it in the holster. Now, as far as the police officer is concerned, let me go. You're like, well, Paul, I mean, officer safety is critical and it's crucial, and I can't believe that you're not a proponent of officer safety. You know where guns don't go off? When they're tucked safely away inside of holsters. That's kind of the purpose of the holster, is to keep stuff from coming into contact with the trigger. If someone hands you a card, a driver's license and a card that says, I am a concealed carry permit holder, I have a permission slip from the king to carry a sword, and you say, okay, well, you need to take it away from them. Why? If they were a felon, if they were going to attack the police officer, do you believe that their first step in attacking the police officer would it be to give them their license and their plastic card with their picture on it that says, I are a gun carrier? You believe that's how the mind of the criminal assailant works? What exactly is this police officer afraid of? Well, what if the guy, decided in the middle when the cop's writing him a ticket, what if he was sitting up there and he got really mad and he's like, oh man, I'm not going to take this ticket from this cop. I'm going to shoot him. Really? And I don't have Jason on the phone right now, but I'm going to assume that when he told him he had a gun on him, he's like, well, where is it? And he goes, it's over my right hip or left hip or whatever, and it's in a holster, and it's right there. So he raises his shirt up, and the cop takes the gun out of his holster. I'm guessing, because Jason didn't say it, that he didn't frisk him completely head to toe for a second gun or third gun. I'm guessing that he didn't put him in handcuffs. So for all of you out there like, well, it's officer safety. It's officer safety. He needs to take the gun away. Do you know when negligent discharges happen? Do negligent discharges happen when your gun is riding in a holster on your body? Unless it's a crappy holster made out of, I don't know, cat hide or something. Unless you have some flimsy, crappy, nasty holster. If it's in a good, real, legitimate concealed carry holster, no, it's not going to go off. That's the whole purpose. Do guns go off when people accidentally or negligently, when people pull them out, point them at the target, put their finger on it, and deliberately press it in the act of shooting? You're like, well, no, that's obviously not negligent, Paul. It's purposeful. Okay. Well, when do most 99% of all negligent discharges, when do they happen? When people are farting around, playing with guns, handling guns, when they're moving them from point A to point B. When they're handling them in, quote, an administrative fashion. That's why we keep having so many negligent discharges, because rather than putting guns in holsters and leaving them alone, people are screwing around with them. And I don't know. I would venture to say that all right, first of all, Jason, I forgot to tell you, you're wrong. Don't speed, mongoloid. Don't exceed this posted speed limit. And at least don't exceed it to the point where you draw attention to yourself. You need to be better than that. Yeah, if you guys are listening to me and you're driving, A, 10 and 2, pay attention to what you're doing. B, don't violate the speed limits or the traffic laws. You need to be better than that. Use your turn signals. Give yourself plenty of time to brake. Don't speed. Oh, it's easy for you to say because you've never been late. Shut up. If you're late all the time, it's because you don't have discipline and you can't get yourself moving on time. Don't give me excuses and reasons that you're you're speeding. And the thing is, nobody's getting pulled over for 3 miles an hour over the limit. Nobody's getting pulled over for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 even. And if you are, you live in an area where they're Nazis and you need to get away from that place. No, you're getting pulled over because you were 10 over, 11, 12, 15. All right? No excuse. But to finish this off and move on, Jason, there's nothing else you could have done based on the description. You absolutely do not want to screw with your gun during a traffic stop. If you've got a gun on you, leave it on you. Let it be. Okay? If the cop decides that he wants to be an idiot and handle your gun and fart around with it or whatever, okay, you can't really stop them from doing that. If you want to pursue it farther, I would contact the agency and ask them what their policy is. Some agencies have policies, and sadly, most of you guys out there think that your local police and sheriff's department have all of these set, intelligent, well thought out policies in place. And sadly, many of them don't.
They have a policy to create a perimeter.
Yeah, a perimeter. Their policy is to create a perimeter and allow the killing to go on inside. But yeah, some of them they'll say things like, "Well, we leave it up to the officer's discretion." Well, then you need to teach your officers better. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you, and then that you're right. That's idiocy. He's like, well, I don't feel comfortable with you having a gun while I'm writing you a ticket. So I'm going to write you a ticket, come back, hand you your license and your gun, and say, have a nice day. Like, oh, okay. But for all of you guys out there listening, don't say the word gun when they walk up. Don't touch or screw with your gun. Okay? And if they say, oh, I need to disarm you or take your gun from you, put your hands up around your shoulders. Do not reach for your gun. Okay? If they feel the need to pull your gun out of your holster and take it with them, let them do it. All right? You're like, yeah, but what if they're idiots and they pull it out and shoot me? Yeah, exactly. So, but if you reach down and grab it, yeah. So don't do it. All right. Speaking of holsters and actually carrying guns on your body properly and correctly and so that they don't go off and they're secured, Crossbreed holsters can help you do that. That's what they're all about. They're about helping you be a lawfully armed citizen and securing your gun so that it's not bouncing around the car or flopping around in your pocket just waiting to go off. It's in a secure holster and it's going nowhere and the trigger is covered. Check, check, check. And they also make the most comfortable inside the waistband holster you're ever going to buy. So there's that. Go to their website, check them out, crossbreedholsters.com, and make sure when you do that you use the promo code SOTG18 and save yourself some money. All right. Froglube Green Minty Fresh. It is bio-based, and it is a Froglube. Well, it's a lubricant. I'm sorry. It's a Froglube lubricant. It was a lubricant designed and developed per request of the United States military. It's a U.S. veteran-owned company. And what did we talk about last week? Last Wednesday on our Brownells bullet points, I said spring cleaning, right? Take your guns apart, spray them down with the solvent. Froglube makes solvent. Get all the funk and crud and nastiness and pocket lint and dirt out of them. Then lube them up, put them back together, and drive on with your life. Froglube.com. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A. Yes, indeed. And we will be at the Century Arms booth Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Texas time. Texas local time in Dallas at the NRA annual meeting. We're going to be doing a live book signing there. We'll be there for an entire hour, so come by and say hello. If you're planning to go to the NRA annual meeting, come by, see us, do it. All right. And you can check out all the things that they have available at centuryarms.com. DuraCoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. I actually just as you're listening to this, last Friday, I talked about I ordered some DuraCoat and I got some stencils from Freedom Stencils, and I'll be doing projects. So pay attention. if you want to see some cool pictures, we're going to be doing that. If you are an artiste, if you're a gun refinishing artiste, and you want everyone to see your super new, cool, sexy gun, well, put pictures of it on the Instagram image or whatever, and make sure that you tag DuraCoat in the pictures. DuraCoat Firearm Finishes.com. Brownells, they've got everything that needs to go in, on, or around a gun. If you own a gun, Brownells has something for you. They probably have lots of things for you. And what you can do is go to Brownells.com and make sure that you're taking advantage of all their promo codes and discounts and what have you, because they're constantly running specials and you don't want to miss out. Moving on to what else do we do on Mondays? Well, we do a quiet time each and every Monday, and today is no exception.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay, I spy error-free forms, fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy Powered By. That's right. With over 300 Powered By Silencer Shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy. Demand Powered By. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
Yes, quiet time. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're not going to talk about reading or books or smoking cigars or anything. We're actually going to talk about shooting quietly. If you'd like to put a gun muffler on one of your pistols, there's one of two ways. The first way is, well, to purchase a Canik TP9 SFT. Yes, they are here and they are available and you can get one. As a matter of fact, I went to the website, the Century Arms website, and I looked up Canik pistols, and I believe they have 9 different pistols right now listed in the Canik line. That's a lot, thinking, especially when you consider that, well, it was only a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Jarrad, 4 at the most, when they came out with the SA. I don't think it's been more than 4, but they came out with the TP9 SA, and they've gone kind of bananas ever since then. They've got the DAs and the SFs and the SFXs and the SFL, and now they have an SFT, and the T stands for threaded barrel, and it is a factory threaded barrel, so the gun is set up out of the box, ready to go. All you need to do is get your 9mm can, and if you go to silencershop.com, you can shop around. They've got all kinds of 9mm cans, and purchase it. Boom. Now, when you get your 9mm can from whoever it is that you purchase it from, whether it's Ackless or AAC or Gemtech or all of the different makers of pistol cans, chances are really high that it's going to have multiple thread pitch adapters, because what do we know? Not every 9mm barrel that's available on a handgun or a carbine is the same, has the same thread on it. The Europeans like to put metric threads, left-handed metric threads. Americans like to put English threads. Carbine threads are not the same as pistol threads, and so on and so forth. No sweat. They have thread adapters. And as you guys, if you pay attention to what we've been doing for a while, you know that I do have a Tyrant can from AAC, and it is very, very easy. Would you not say it is ridiculously simple to switch out the thread adapters, Jarrad?
Yeah, we did it in like 10 seconds there on the live video that we did for the Liberty Mastermind. Yeah, on the range. We went to the range the other day, and I had one pistol, the SFT, that had a 13.5x1 left-handed metric thread, because Europeans. And then on the other hand, I had a drop-in threaded barrel that was 1/2x28 right hand. So took 2 different thread adapters, switched them up, and they worked very well. One of the things that the SFT comes with, it comes with suppressor height sights already installed. They're Warren sights. They're made out of steel, and I believe it has a red fiber optic front. Does it not, Jarrad?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it does.
Yes. It has a red fiber optic front sight and steel sights, and it's a high quality item. I went and I looked, and the MSRP for that gun is like, I think $519. I want to say $519.99, something like that. So it's right around $500. Now, if you guys have ever looked at suppressor ready pistols, you probably have found that they were all in the $500 to $600 to $700 range, depending. So that's a pretty good deal. And let's all be honest. Unless you're buying guns at, what's the place where you get duck calls and fishing lures and stuff? Bass Pro. Yeah. Unless you're buying guns at Bass Pro or Cabela's, you're probably not going to pay MSRP.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to throw out there are two types of people in this world. There's me and you who said Bass Pro, and then there's half the audience that went to Cabela's.
Oh.
And isn't there a third one?
Oh, there used to be Gander Mountain. They went out of business.
Oh,
they're Gouger Mountain. They were horrible.
I just remember going to Gander Mountain where is it?
In Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg. I just remember going.
Yeah, if you want to pay more, if you got all kinds of extra money and you want to pay more for everything you buy than you would anywhere else, go to Gander Mountain. Do you remember when we went? It was during the Comrade Barry administration, but I went to Gander Mountain, not to actually buy anything, but to just kind of browse around and see what they had and get ideas.
Would you say you went to Gander?
Yeah, I went to take a gander. Oh, you're a dork. But they had a 10-round Glock 17 magazine. They reduced capacity, 10-round Glock 17 magazine for $45. And I said, you know what? If somebody wants to carry less ammo and be an idiot, they should have to pay $45. And it was in Mississippi where you don't have to, you're not required to have low capacity slave magazines. So I don't even know why it was there. I took a picture of it because I couldn't believe it was true. I saw it and it was one of those things where I was like, is that right? But now the drop-in barrel, if you guys watched our videos that we put up on Facebook and Instagram, the drop-in threaded barrel for the TP9 SF series, I actually got at SHOT Show, and they are getting ready to release them now. And I suspect that when we go to NRA that they'll probably have them released. I went to the website and they didn't have them available yet. So if you want to shoot your Canic pistols quietly, right now you get an SFT. They are going to have an SF Elite version that's going to come with a factory threaded barrel. That's next. And then in addition to that, they're going to have drop-in barrels. So no reason to make all that noise, right? And if you're a free man or a free woman, and unless you live in a slave state, you can avail yourself to gun mufflers. And if you're one of those people who's never purchased a gun muffler and you're curious and you're like, but I think it's way too hard. Jarrad, if they're sitting out there and they're thinking, it's just way too hard to buy a silencer. It's too complicated. And I don't know how to do it. What should they do?
I would say that person that's thinking that has never went to silencershop.com and went through their process. Yeah. Once you go through it once, they've got this. Basically, it's a system that they use over and over again. Once your information is in there, it's in there, and it's easier to buy over and over and over again.
They'll hold your hand and they'll walk you through it.
Yep.
So don't be scared. Don't be scared and afraid.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Oh, okay. Well, since we're kind of on the, when I wrote today's show notes and I put the main topic in there, I didn't know that was the question we were going to get for the Warrior of the Week, but it kind of works out. So on one hand, I pointed out a police officer being an idiot, and I stand behind that 100%. You want to write me letters? Hey, dudes, if you're wearing a polyester uniform and you got a badge and a Sam Brown belt, if you even know what that is anymore, you don't get a free pass on stupidity. You just can't do stupid things and not be criticized, okay? And that's all I got to say about that. If you're going to do stupid things and I'm going to see it, I'm going to point it out. So. But you want to know stupid? Well, here we go. Let's go out to the left coast, to the glorious People's Republic of California. California proposal would limit when officers can open fire. You mean like right now there's no limits to when a police officer, they can just whip out their guns and there's people standing on the street and they're like, hey, I don't like the way you look. Bam, you're done. And they walk away, right? That's how that works. Police officers can just like randomly kill people at will. Is that how that works? Well, no, it's not, but that's not good enough for the lunatics who run the state of California and the slaves that put them in office. Several lawmakers and the family of a 22-year-old unarmed black man who was fatally shot by police Tuesday, several lawmakers and the family of a 22-year-old unarmed black man who was fatally shot by police proposed Tuesday that California become the first state to significantly restrict when officers can open fire. Interesting. The legislation would change the standard from reasonable force to necessary force. Okay. Well, I'm curious how the great enlightened leaders of California are going to change the law here. All right, continuing with the story, it says here that means officers would be allowed to shoot only if there were no other reasonable alternatives to deadly force. Pretty sure, Jared, check me if I'm wrong, that is the definition of justifiable deadly force nationwide.
Yeah.
Ability,
yep,
opportunity, and intent. Right? So if the person attacking you has the ability, the opportunity, and the demonstrated intent to use deadly force against you, then and only then can you shoot them. So the situation with this person being shot, it's not that they need to change the law. It's that they need to understand what the law is and actually apply it. This quote was from Lizzie Buchan, legislative advocate for the American Civil Liberties Union, which is one of the groups behind the measure. Okay, ACLU are communists. ACLU are anti-America. ACLU are scumbags. So just so you know. And anybody who uses the term advocate is immediately suspect. That is a socialist word. Here we go. Oh, you want to hear some more geniosity from elected officials in California? Sure you do. We need to ensure that our state policy governing the use of deadly force stresses the sanctity of human life. California, you don't give two fat rats rear ends about human life. Well, what do you mean? Well, Assemblywoman Shirley Weber, San Diego Democrat, I'm going to ask you this. Do you support pro-choice? Do you support abortion on demand in California? Because you know that they give out abortions with like Happy Meals in California. So they support the sanctity. They stress the sanctity of human life. Well, if you're a Democrat, they only support the sanctity of human life if it's not going to be inconvenient. You see, in California, if the human life that we're talking about is going to inconvenience the mother, well, then just kill it and throw it in a garbage can. So let's make sure that we know what we're talking about here. Deadly force can be used, but only when it's completely necessary, says Shirley Weber. Yeah, that actually is the existing definition of the use of deadly force. ability, opportunity, intent. The goal is to encourage officers to diffuse confrontations and use less deadly weapons, said Democrat Assemblyman Kevin McCarty. We should no longer be the target practice or victims of of a shoot first, ask questions later police force, says Assemblyman Chris Holden, the chairman of the Legislative Black Caucus, which is 100% racist. Is there a legislative white caucus in California?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because that's racist.
No. When you label yourself, when you single yourself out by race, you are racist. California current standard makes it rare for officers to be charged after a shooting. No, it doesn't. Hey, I'm not going to deal with the situation with the shooting itself, but do you guys in the audience, do you want to know why we have such problems today with police officers and the citizenry and the thug element in our society? Number one, thugs are no longer afraid of tasers. So when they're like, use a taser instead, a taser. Thugs are not afraid of tasers. Career criminals, you know who's afraid of a taser? You. Now, I'm not saying they're not effective. No, they work. But thugs aren't afraid of them. That's just part of doing business. If you're a police officer in the state of California and you're listening to me right now, why are you still there? Oh, money? Okay. You know, Jarrad, that is the answer that I get from 99% of all police officers or civil servants or whatever, people who live in California, and I say to them, why are you still there? And their answer is money.
Or families, or my family's here.
No, primarily their answer is money.
Yep.
Because they'll detail to me how much they make. They'll say things like, yeah, I looked in other cities and same job, same thing. I wouldn't make nearly as much as I make in California.
You would take more home, I bet.
You probably would take more home. And, then you have to say you have to use logic and reason and say, well, how much you pay in taxes every year? How much do you pay for a house? How much? I have a good friend of mine whose his adult daughter has chosen to live in California, and her husband cannot find a home for less than $250,000. Can't find one. I'm not talking about a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with an attached garage. I'm talking about 2-bedroom, 1 bath. They can't find a modest his and her starter house for under $250,000 in California. So they're renting because they can't afford to purchase a house. What do you pay for gasoline in California? What are you paying for your utilities in California?
I think gas is I might be talking to my butt, but I think it's like $4.25 a gallon.
Yeah, it's on average. Gas in California is anywhere from $1 to $1.25 to sometimes $1.50 higher than the rest of the nation. How much when you get your pay stub, your pay stub that you're so excited to get because you're making all this money, man, I'm making bank. You get that pay stub. Go ahead and tell me how much you're paying in state taxes and entitlements and so forth. City taxes. How much you paying for a mortgage? Factor it out. But don't forget American citizens. So what California wants to do is rather than apply the universal standard of ability, opportunity, intent, the thing that you learned when you went to, well, please tell me that when you got your concealed carry permit, they taught you ability, opportunity, and intent. I'm afraid that not everybody did. But they say, well, this shooting of this guy was a bad shooting and the officer should get in trouble and so forth. Every shooting is investigated and they should be applying those 3 things. AOI, ability, opportunity, intent. And if all 3 of them were not met in that situation, then you prosecute. But instead, no, that's not the answer. The answer is never follow the law that exists. No. We can't follow the existing law and apply it. We need new laws.
It almost makes you wonder why, if they think that these ones aren't working, that new ones will.
Well, no, a new law is always better than an old law. The old law says thou shalt not murder, right? But see, we've got this law that says you're not allowed to murder people, but that's not working. So we're going to make a law that says you're not allowed to own an object. And, even though you're willing to commit murder, you wouldn't want to, break the law of owning that object. You're like, yeah, but Dad, people get stabbed to death and bludgeoned to death with hammers and bats and crap all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you see over? I don't know if it was over the weekend or last week, the thing in China.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. On the train station platform where like 33 people were stabbed to death.
Yeah, was that last week?
That's been a while.
Oh really?
But people have been sharing it a lot as an example of how wonderful gun control is.
Yeah.
So now they're essentially going to handicap and handcuff police officers, and they're going to put police officers in danger. If you're a cop in California, they want to put you in danger. They want you to hesitate when fractions of seconds count, and they don't care if you get killed because dead cops are good for business. So in California, they're very super hyper concerned that cops are just randomly killing people, and we need to be concerned about the sanctity of life. And I know you smart guys out there, you're like, didn't an illegal invader just get off from killing a woman in California with a gun that he shouldn't have had? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Remember which one of those two things is the more important part.
Yeah, so illegal invader, illegal immigrant, someone who was in the country illegally, who'd actually, I believe, been kicked out and just came right back in because, California opens up illegals. They open up the state to illegals because it's just free for all. He was acquitted for killing a California citizen. Where was... let me find her name so I can call her out by name. Where was San Diego representative, councilwoman, or what have you? Got to reopen this story. I'm sorry. I apologize to you guys.
Crap. We're on public hour. I was going to make up a name, but right now.
Where was Assemblywoman Shirley Weber, Democrat, San Diego? Where was she when they had an illegal immigrant who shouldn't have been in the country, who was here unlawfully, who just found a gun, because guns are on the street, and picked it up and pressed the trigger, and a California citizen died at his hands? She's all concerned about the sanctity of human life. But apparently in California, they're not concerned about the sanctity of human life when illegal invader kills a human. When an illegal invader kills a California citizen, well, we need to make sure that they get the full, protection of the law and so forth. And what was his punishment for that? Oh, that's right. He wasn't punished. So I think that they got him on an unlawful possession of a gun, and they sentenced him to like 3 years or something, which means in the real world, he'll do 9 months. They'll give him supervised adult probation. They'll let him out. He'll disappear, and they'll never see him again until he kills someone else. So, yeah, that's the state of California for you. Illegal invaders kill your citizens. No big deal. We just had another one I don't have time to get into where an illegal invader killed 2 police officers and went to court and laughed about it. Yep. So California cops, know this. The state doesn't give 2 fat rats rear ends about you. If you die, they will let your killer go to court and laugh about it. Yes. Chuckle it up. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Oh, and didn't California make the death penalty illegal? They've been flip-flopping back and forth for, I don't know, 30 years. Illegal, legal, illegal, illegal. But yeah, you open up your state, any illegal invader, drug runner, murderer, rapist, whatever, bring them on in, man. Give them licenses and free food and all that, and they can kill your citizens. But the police need to be held to a different standard. There is a standard. The standard is in place in all 50 states. If a police officer has a bad shoot, apply the standard. If they fail it, prosecute them. Now we don't do that. We need new laws, because new laws are the solution to everything. That's it, kids. That's all I've got to say today. I hope that you have a wonderful week and that you remember you're a beginner once, a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.